Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and as I've said before, I'll be doing a benchmarking video. Well, this is that video. So in this video I'll be going through different presets that are available to us, what resolution we should be running this game on PC, on 1050ti, on a 1050ti, and all of that stuff coming right up.
Come on.
So right now you are seeing the gameplay based on my own custom preset. Now yes, there are FPS drops, but it never actually drops below 30 FPS. And it generally stays near 35, 36, 37 FPS under like heavy gameplay, and the FPS is not really bad per se, and any of the other presets as well. So that's all done. I don't know why I was reloading my bow. The R key is useless in this. Right. So what is important is right now you are seeing the gameplay. And as you can see, it is stable around 36, 37 FPS. So this is under heavy load. So this is as low as the FPS will go. It will never drop below that. Yeah, in the initial gameplay you did see it dropping to 30 once. That's more due to the stuttering this game has rather than the actual game of it. So in terms of the actual game, this is what you can expect, around 35, 36 FPS. Now I will tell you what preset I'm running this game on. That is this. I'll get into why this port is bad, but that will be later on. But yeah, this is the setting I'm running on. Textures on medium, model quality on low, anisotropic on low, shadows on low, reflections on low, clouds on medium, anti-aliasing is camera based. I'll tell you what that is. Motion blur is on because the FPS is low, obviously, and ambient occlusion is off. As far as display is concerned, I'm running it on 1080p, obviously. The render scale is at 100%. I'm not reducing it in any way. Now, right off the bat, while I am like walking around and stuff, I would just like to say, this is not a good PC port. This is not optimized at all. In fact, I know a friend who literally just said to me that he is getting around 40, 45-ish FPS in his gameplay. And considering that we are running on this exact same hardware, he has a slower processor. He is running on an i3. I'm running an i7. He has a slower processor, and considering he's getting more FPS than me, I think I can conclude quite clearly that this is not a properly optimized game. And plus, it is very obvious that it is not optimized because of the constant crashes that this game has. I mean, seriously, I can't count how many times this game has crashed. It even crashed while I was doing this video. I've already done this video once, but I wasn't satisfied, so I'm doing it again. It crashed even during that. So as you can see, during normal exploration gameplay, it's around 40. Ignore the stuttering, that's not part of the gameplay. That will probably get fixed with a patch, to be fair. And while in combat, it sometimes dipped down to 35, but not any more than that. So obviously this is the setting that I would tell you guys to run. As you can see it on the screen right now. Now, all that said, I'll show you how all of the other presets function on PC. And I might go on a bit of a rant in one of the presets. Right, so this is Ultra. This is the best this game can look at 1080p. And I mean, obviously, I don't know what you guys were expecting, but yeah. I mean, Ultra preset, it's a goddamn miracle that I'm even getting 20 FPS considering the state of the PC port. Yeah. Like, the game looks fantastic. It's just that I can't really play in this FPS. The thing is, back in the day when I played Black Flag first, I played it on Intel HD 4000, and that was even below this frame rate. I basically played that entire game on 21, 22 FPS. But since now I'm so used to playing on 60, on 30, I cannot play in this FPS at all. It is not possible for me. Right. So now you guys have seen Ultra. It looks pretty damn gorgeous. I can say that much. So even when we are walking, the FPS is just not good. It's raining right now. It looks really, really fantastic. I just wish I had the PC to actually run it on Ultra. But obviously I don't. I hope someday if this channel ever, reaches a good point that I can buy a PC from the earnings and stuff, maybe, but I don't see that happening. Like even the last video got like 10 views. That is the most I ever get. So yeah. So now we move on to the second preset, that is favor quality. And I would just like to remind you, if in case you guys don't know or didn't see while clicking it, this is running on a 1050 Ti. So keep that in mind. Now this preset, it has its issues. I don't know why, but I never seem to be able to get a consistent FPS in this preset. I don't know why this is happening. Usually it's like last time I recorded, 2 times that I recorded in this preset, I was getting constant 30 FPS. There were absolutely no drops. There was no issue with this. But now I'm getting like a 28, 27. Now obviously it's raining, there is a lot on screen going on right now. Like even without like us being, actually, you know what? Let me go into the combat. You will see what I mean. Right.
Ready or not.
You see what I mean? So even with all the active effects and all that stuff, it's still not all that great. I'll move away and I'll change the preset. So this preset, you can expect just some dips below 30 FPS. But if you're okay with that, fine really. In fact, if you just fine tune this a bit, like reduce the model quality, reduce shadows. Actually, shadows don't really do much in this. Reduce the cloud, reduce ambient occlusion. You can get a playable frame rate in this preset as well. So this is the preset I would suggest you go with if you are targeting 30 FPS. If you are okay with playing on 30 FPS, target this preset and just adjust from here. I would say, okay, I'll just reduce, I'll just show you what to do. Reduce this anti-aliasing, let us stay at TA. I'll put shadows to medium, reflections to medium, clouds to medium as well. Model quality to medium, that is very important for our PC. And yeah, it stays pretty stable at 30 FPS. Right now I'm going into combat, still at 30 FPS. So if you're okay with 30 FPS, this is the preset for you. As you can see right now, it's raining. So obviously whenever it rains in a game, it is at its absolute peak in terms of how much it has to render. And that's just what I feel. Usually that's the case. Obviously in many games that thing has changed. Things are different in many games. But overall, yeah, this is always true. Now, moving on from this preset, I'll move on to the next one. So this was the high preset essentially, favor quality. Now we move to the original, and this is where my problem with this game lies. This is the preset, by the way. This is the preset that is supposed to replicate the original look of the game on a PlayStation. And as you can see, this is currently staying just under 30 FPS. And to me, that is unacceptable. I'm sorry, but a 1050 Ti is better than a base PS4. And I know the base PS4 wasn't exactly running this on 1080p native. It was upscaling a bit. But you know what? That is no excuse. This should run properly at 35, at least 40 FPS on this preset. I am taking no excuses for that. And this port is unoptimized, and this is the reason why. So yeah, this preset is also going to give you basically 30 FPS because it changes some settings to degrade it, but those settings don't have much of an impact. For example, textures doesn't have much impact. As far as model quality goes, it goes from high to medium. It should have some impact, but it just didn't. I mean, it did because I did reduce it to medium in the preset that I showed you guys. So yeah, anisotropic filtering, actually, anisotropic filtering doesn't do anything in the game so far. It's a bug. So put this on low, always put this on low. Shadows on medium, doesn't really matter. Clouds, reflections, everything is on medium. Everything is basically what I suggested in my previous thing with the quality build. If you're going for quality, if you need 30 FPS, just go from the other preset. This is the preset that shows you just how unoptimized this port is. Now, moving from original to favor performance. Now, obviously this is bare bones. This is like the lowest of the low. This is the lowest you can go. As you can see, much more playable. I'll just... As you can see, even with all the weather effects going on, with everything that is going on in this game, there's a lot of stuff actually in this game, so there's that. But with all of that, you just notice this is a much better looking preset. Sorry, what am I saying? This is not as good looking as the other presets, obviously. Looks a bit bland. But yeah, the performance is definitely improved. I don't know how you are supposed to sheath your bow in this.
Yep, it's the motherless outcast again. Go ahead and stare.
Right. Obtained rock. So as you can see, perfectly playable. If you want to play it on this preset, go for it. I would just suggest one small thing to do in this preset, that is put this thing on camera based. This is probably one of the best anti-aliasing settings in this game. Now you can see there is still a lot of aliasing going on, but overall it's still a better image quality with not that much dip in performance. I mean, this is the same performance as the FXAA essentially, and since it's not putting anti-aliasing on the entire screen, just where your camera is looking, yeah, it looks quite nice. I guess this is the setting that runs on a PS4. As you can see, there is no artifacting, there is no aliasing in these bushes. But if you look far away, you can see the aliasing again. Like, look at those trees, you can see the aliasing there. So yeah, the original preset that I suggested is basically kind of a play on this. What I would tell you to do is, again, if you want performance, now this is the preset for performance. I already gave you the preset for quality, just visual quality and 30 FPS lock. This is what you need to do if you want to absolutely push the absolute maximum amount of frames you can get at 1080p. That is, just put the textures on medium. Medium textures are good. Put everything else on low. Shadows, reflections, everything. Reflections you might put on medium, because other than if you are standing right beside water, this doesn't actually do anything. Yeah, do this, put motion blur on, and voila. You have a perfectly playable preset with good image quality, and due to motion blur, now aliasing is kind of reduced far away. So yeah, overall this is a really good image quality to have, and this is very much playable in this preset, and I would suggest this is the preset you use. Now with all that said, I hope you like this video. If you like the video, press the like button. Subscribe for more content. Obviously the next episode of Horizon Zero Dawn is also coming, that is tonight as well. And obviously I'll be continuing this series. Hopefully this game doesn't crash on me. And I'll leave you with some gameplay of this game at this preferred setting. Alright, so as of now, peace.
Healer alert.